Now let's see the if-else condition. So far we have seen how to interact with user through Python console in our previous lecture. Now let's see how to filter that input from the user. So previously we just simply take the input from the user, we store it in a variable, and we just simply greet the user with a message, and that's it. But let's consider, what if I want to perform some operations on that input of the user. Let me just cut this out and let's create a program, a simple voting machine where the user will give his age as an input. Then we will convert that input, or we will check that input if the input is greater than 18, and if the user has age greater than 18, he will be allowed for voting. Else we will display a message that he is not eligible. So simple enough, right? Let's create one. I will just type a message. Welcome to voting validator, some random name. Now let's take the input from the user. Now what we are going to ask the user is his or her age. Now let's create a variable name as age, and you can take whatever name you want. So I will just consider it as age, and then I will just type input. Please enter your age. Now so far we have got our value in our age variable. Now let's consider that the user have given us the value as 17, means the user is not eligible for voting. Let's first of all consider for 22, means if the user is eligible for voting, then there is a command in Python that is called as if condition. So if the age is greater than 18 colon print you are eligible for voting. Yeah. So what's going on over here? As you can see, we have our value inside the age variable, right? And now I am checking that is the age, that is the value 22, is greater than the value 18. If it is greater than, then the user is eligible to vote. And as you can see, I have used a colon over here. So what does this colon mean? In other languages like C, Java, C++, they use curly braces, that are brackets. But in Python, we don't use them. We just simply use a colon, and then if we press enter, it is automatically going to indent, as you can see. And this is how Python detects that the code block is started, and we can type whatever code we want with the same indentation. So if you don't understand the indentation right now, don't worry, we are going to use it a lot in our upcoming programs, and you will be totally fine in our upcoming lectures. So just worry about that if you don't understand. And then we have satisfied our condition, that is 22 is greater than 18. And now if I run the program, it is going to give us error, and I just want you to understand what will be the error. So let's consider as 22. And what can you say from this error? Type error greater than not supported between instance of string and integer. So what I can figure out from this error message is that we cannot use greater than symbol between string and integer. So this is an integer, that's right. This is a greater than sign, but according to the error, it is of type string. So as I told you in our previous lecture that this is going to take every input as a string. Now to convert it into an integer, we have to use typecast, that is int, and we have to surround it with parentheses. And now our program will run successfully. So let's take it as 22, and it has successfully printed the message, you are eligible for voting. And that's what we were trying to achieve. Now what if the user is not eligible? Let's consider the user has given a value of 15, so he is not eligible for vote. If I run this program with a value of 15, it has done nothing, because as you can see, unless the condition was true, it was going in this code block and it was executing everything inside this code block. But as soon as the condition is false, that is 15 is greater than 18, that's not true, so it is going to skip this part and it will execute whatever will be below that code block, and there is nothing, so the program will end. So let me just put a message, the program ends here. And if I run this again and let's give it 15, the program ends here, so it has skipped this code block. Now let's consider what if we want to show the user that you are not eligible for voting. So we can either use if age is less than 18, print you are not eligible for voting, and let's run this one. And as you can see, it has successfully printed the correct output, you are not eligible for voting. Okay, now to solve a specific problem, a problem statement with Python programming or any other programming, there are more than one way. You can use any kind of algorithm you want if it is going to give you a desired output. As you can see, I have used two conditions, if age is greater than 18, if age is less than 18. So that's right, I have used two conditions, but I can even make this more simpler. So let me just comment this out. So what we can understand from this condition is that either the age will be greater than 18 or it will be smaller than 18. So if it's not greater than 18 as of this condition, it is definitely smaller than 18, right? So we will simply type else and then we will provide a colon and print you are not eligible for voting. Yeah, and let's run this one with a value of 15. You are not eligible for voting. As you can see, this is comment out, and let me just remove. So let's understand the flow of our program. It has taken the input from user, that is age as 15, and then it has checked over here in if condition. So 15 is greater than 18, and that's not true. So it has just skipped this code block and it has directly gone through the else block. It has executed the command inside this code block, that is in the else, and at the end it has printed this message. So directly, if this condition is not true, then automatically this condition will be triggered and this code block will be executed. Or if this condition is true, then this code block will not run. So let's give it a try. 22, you are eligible for voting, and it has skipped this else part. So this is how if condition works. There is also another condition, that is elif, which is a short form for else if, which we are going to cover in our next lecture. See you in the next one.